These people should not have shows.
I'm not gonna get through 8 episodes of these. Oh,
It's just so inauthentic. Why would I watch it?
I couldn't make it through like 2 minutes, guys.
it is painful, guys. It is so boring and painful.
The show is all about making friends and celebrating with family, two things that Meghan Markle is clearly incapable of doing.
You're speaking my language. It's a language I learned from you.
Language is literal word salad. Literally salad.
I am physically nauseated watching that clip.
I am losing my mind watching this show.
The reason they keep flopping is because she doesn't have anything to say.
She did this thing where she arranged fruit in a rainbow on the board. Who the hell has time for that?
It's giving rom-com vibe. The music in the background. Do you believe in magic? What is that?
It is one of the most inauthentic things I've ever watched in my life.
Meghan's not really giving any tips, but guys, on Netflix, you can watch it at 1.5 speed.
She's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
Meghan Markle has launched a new series on Netflix, and Michael Knowles wasted no time sharing his candid opinions. He immediately poses a question that many are likely pondering. What qualifies her to have a show in the first place?
Why? Why does she have a show?
It's a valid question, particularly when considering the series of projects that have appeared and disappeared. Critics such as Knowles highlight a recurring trend: numerous initiatives that start with significant excitement but soon lose momentum or encounter severe criticism. He argues that this may stem from the possibility that she lacks truly engaging or innovative content to present to the audience.
The reason they keep flopping is because she doesn't have anything to say. If you want to be a public figure, you need to have at least something to say.
This perceived lack of substance connects directly to another major critique Knowles has of her. He argues that she seems to want all the perks and spotlight that come with a certain identity, but without putting in the hard work or fulfilling the responsibilities that go along with it. It's a recurring theme in her life, whether she's playing the royal card or trying to be the next big lifestyle guru.
She wants all of the privileges that go along with an identity, but she doesn't want any of the responsibility. She doesn't want to do any of the work.
And now, this new Netflix show, which claims to be all about her sharing personal lifestyle tips and celebrating playfulness over perfection, has quickly become a target for ridicule. Many view it as just another effort to showcase a meticulously crafted, authentic persona. But as Knowles highlights, the mere fact that she's making a show centered on herself contradicts any notion of genuine humility. It's this irony that turns the whole situation into prime cringe-worthy content for countless viewers.
To appear demure and modest, but the act of making a TV show about herself is not modest.
This Netflix series isn't just another run-of-the-mill show. It's a masterclass in how not to win over the public. The critiques are downright brutal. Right from the start, the show's entire claim to authenticity gets shattered, beginning with the very house where it's filmed. Viewers hoping for an honest glimpse into Meghan's personal life were swiftly disillusioned, discovering that what they were watching wasn't even her actual home.
Not even her house. She rented this couple's house, and that's where they filmed it. It's just so terribly inauthentic.
If the house isn't real, then what about all that domestic goddess stuff she's supposedly showcasing? Critics are all over that as well, arguing that even the cooking featured on the show isn't really done by her. It appears she might be more of a food stylist than an actual chef, simply rearranging dishes to look appealing for the camera.
To be a cooking show, but she doesn't actually cook. The other people cook, and then she just puts her hands all over everything and rearranges it.
And it's not just the main cooking that's under scrutiny. Even the simple prep work, like slicing fruit for those fancy platters, is said to be managed by a whole team behind the scenes. This makes her on-screen efforts feel even more like a performance rather than a display of genuine domestic talent.
And cut all that fruit. You know, that took a team. Meghan's not sitting there cutting up all of that fruit every day.
All of this adds to an overwhelmingly artificial vibe, making it feel more like a slick, almost fictional movie than any semblance of reality. The music, the soft lighting, the flawless aesthetic, it's all very rom-com. For critics, this is just another layer of fakeness that they can't overlook.
Rom-com vibe. The music in the background. Do you believe in magic? What is that?
If the setting is fake and the work isn't hers, what about the actual tips she's sharing? Get ready to be amazed, though not in a good way. When it comes to the advice and tips featured on the show, that's where the cringe factor really skyrockets for many critics. Some of the so-called hacks are so ridiculous and out of touch that they almost feel like self-parody. Take, for example, the unforgettable pretzel charade.
Took a bag of pretzels, dumped it into another plastic bag so that it was prettier, and then tied it up and was like, ta-da, chef.
It's these kinds of pointless aesthetic upgrades that left viewers scratching their heads and critics ready to pounce. Then there was the ridiculously elaborate fruit presentation, which, while visually stunning, just shouted, "Who has time for this?" It's a prime example of her show prioritizing style over any practical reality for busy individuals.
She did this thing where she arranged fruit in a rainbow on the board. Who Who the hell has time for that?
And the artistic fruit arrangement didn't end there. She even threw in little yogurt clouds for that extra flair. It's the kind of detail that might shine on Pinterest, but feels completely out of touch with real life.
She puts a bit of yogurt on that plate and says, that can be the clouds. I mean,
Another eyebrow-raising tip was her method for making popcorn, which even she didn't seem fully convinced by. It's these moments of awkward delivery and dubious advice that make the show such easy material for mockery.
Not even believing her own tip here. Did you see that face? Put it in the bag. It's like someone told her to say this, and then she's like, okay.
Beyond the bizarre tips, the show continually highlights a lifestyle and set of priorities that feel completely out of touch with the realities faced by everyday people. The level of free time and resources suggested for these elaborate projects is just not relatable. It's as if she exists in a bubble where the everyday struggles of life simply don't register.
It's time to sit here and chop veggies when their kids are running around and their job's stressing them out and they can't afford their bills.
Commentators like Jeremy Kyle were especially harsh about this perceived elitism and lack of awareness. Her calm focus on crafting beautiful fruit platters, while countless parents are just trying to survive the morning chaos, felt incredibly disconnected from reality.
Let me tell you something, you deranged human being. There are parents who haven't got a millisecond.
The sheer impracticality for any working parent, or really anyone with a busy life, to spend time on such meticulous food art is a point that many critics have emphasized. It underscores a fundamental misunderstanding of her audience, or perhaps a blatant indifference to their everyday realities.
What mother has enough time to create a fruit plate at 6 o'clock on a Monday morning when there's toast throwing around the room?
The show isn't just out of touch. It's reportedly so bad that even A-listers are fleeing from it. This Netflix series isn't viewed as just a one-off misstep by critics. Many see it as part of a broader pattern of failures. Michael Knowles suggests that Meghan appears to be stuck in a cycle, repeatedly trying the same strategies and expecting different results each time, something he likens to the definition of insanity.
The definition of insanity is you try the same thing over and over and you expect a different result. That's Meghan Markle.
This perceived failure to learn from past mistakes is a central aspect of the criticism. Knowles argues that rather than taking responsibility or attempting a new approach, she appears to persist on the same path, hoping for a magical turnaround, even when the results clearly indicate otherwise. It's this mindset that leaves many critics scratching their heads and the audience feeling unimpressed.
Not going to take any responsibility. I'm not going to suggest that maybe that might be my fault. No. It'll just all change tomorrow.
And it's not just minor missteps. We're talking about significant deals that were meant to catapult her into a whole new stratosphere after leaving the royal family. According to Knowles and other commentators, despite the enormous hype and reported lucrative contracts with major media companies, many of her high-profile projects have ultimately flopped, failing to live up to their initial promise or connect with a broad audience.
Husband off from his royal family and then inked a $1 zillion deal with a bunch of media companies, and then all her projects flopped.
This series of alleged failures may be taking a toll on her social and professional reputation. There are growing reports and whispers that A-listers are now deliberately keeping their distance. A frequently mentioned example is her reported snub from Oprah Winfrey's birthday celebrations for Gayle King, which has raised eyebrows and fueled speculation.
So bad that Oprah did not invite Meghan Markle to a surprise birthday party that she threw for Gayle King.
Another blow came from country music legend Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton was approached about appearing on an episode of With Love Meghan and making a cameo.
Reports emerged that Dolly's team was outraged over an invitation for her to appear on Meghan's show.
Don't want to risk Dolly's epic Q score, her popularity, by associating with Meghan Markle.
Allegedly, they wanted nothing to do with it in order to protect Dolly's cherished brand.
They knew that this ask was just to give Meghan Markle credibility in this lifestyle space.
Other commentators echoed this sentiment, suggesting that Meghan's association with a genuine icon like Dolly Parton would be detrimental to Dolly, especially considering the criticism surrounding Meghan's own perceived fake royal image and her questionable food show.
It's a fake royal, making some fake food and pretending that they're great friends. I don't think Dolly should have to suffer in that way.
According to some insiders, the underlying motive was clearly Meghan's attempt to tap into Dolly's immense star power and credibility. This is particularly revealing, especially in light of her reported difficulties in securing big-name guests for her previous podcast, suggesting that her own star power may be diminishing.
The objective was to use some of Dolly's star power. She really struggled to secure star power for her podcast.
All of this paints a picture of potential potentially fading future prospects. If the projects aren't gaining traction, and big names are reportedly distancing themselves, it raises the question of what's next. Some insiders suggest that the era of massive multi-project deals may be coming to an end for them.
Another deal, there may be one-off, that's it. A-listers are now actively keeping away from them and events that they're apparently going to attend.
So why does she keep missing the mark? Michael Knowles has a theory, and it all boils down to a fundamental misunderstanding of what it truly means to be a princess. He suggests that a significant reason Meghan Markle continues to falter with her projects and public image is due to this inherent conflict. She allegedly craves all the glamour of being a princess, without wanting to engage in the hard work that comes with it. Knowles argues that she was attracted to the tiara, not the relentless commitment to public service.
Runs into becoming a princess, but then when she realizes that you actually have to do things when you're a princess, then she says, I don't want to be a princess anymore.
This desire for the perks without the drawbacks is a recurring theme in Knowles' critique. He suggests that Meghan, and possibly Harry as well, yearn for the accolades, special treatment, and privileges that come with their status, but they're unwilling to invest the dedicated, often unglamorous effort that traditionally accompanies such roles. It's about wanting the honor without the obligation.
They want all the privileges, they want all of the honors, they want all the plaudits, but they don't want to do anything.
Knowles then draws a sharp contrast between what he defines as a real princess and a pretend one, framing it as the difference between duty and performance. He argues that true royalty involves selflessly dedicating one's life to serving others, often necessitating personal restraint and a shift away from individual desires. This is the ideal she stepped into, but perhaps never fully embraced.
A real princess is to focus your life on the service of others and to restrain your individual desires.
On the flip side, Knowles characterizes the pretend princess, or the actress playing a role, as someone who indulges personal whims, chases glamour, and actively seeks the spotlight and public adoration. He suggests that this is the mode Meghan is more comfortable with, driven by a desire for attention rather than a genuine commitment to service. This fundamental difference in approach, he argues, lies at the core of her struggles.
A princess is to totally indulge your selfish desires and do whatever you want and be glamorous and live for the tabloids and beg for people's attention.
This creates what Knowles perceives as an impossible situation for Meghan. She was an actress who briefly became a real princess, but now appears to want to revert to her acting roots while still holding on to the princess persona. According to him, she's trapped in a confusing limbo, unable to fully embrace either role because she's attempting to be both at the same time.
Stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
Ultimately, Knowles contends that these two roles are fundamentally incompatible. The essence of being a working royal often entails a level of quiet duty and even mundane routine, while the role of an actress is all about being exciting, capturing attention, and keeping eyes firmly on you. He states bluntly that you simply cannot effectively do both at the same time.
The job of a royal is in many ways to be boring. The job of an actress is to get eyeballs. You can't do both at once.
While critics are having a blast, the audience is serving up some of the most hilarious roasts you could imagine. The reaction to Meghan's Netflix show, especially in the comment section of the trailer, turned out to be a treasure trove of sarcastic and witty gems. People didn't hold back, and their comments were often funnier than the show itself. Here are a few highlights. Hey Netflix, can I get a contract? I made toast today while pursuing joy and elevated it with butter, just being my authentic self. Not her house, not her recipes, not her friends, but so authentic. OMG, she took ordinary hummus and elevated it with olive oil. Bless her for trying to save us from boring dips. I whipped up some oatmeal buns this morning and elevated them with herbs. I even added extra ginger to my husband's tea. Netflix, here I come. Just need to find a beige sweater first. It's absolutely wild that Netflix is shelling out $100 million for an entertaining comment section. While these comments are hilarious, they also reveal a deeper skepticism about Meghan's entire media strategy. Critics like Jeremy Kyle argue that she's a savvy media player, always trying to shape narratives and play the victim card.
Of the media, she uses every conceivable way to try and play the victim.
This perceived manipulation often misses the mark because, as Kyle points out, what she believes makes for good television or what she thinks will resonate with viewers actually highlights a significant disconnect with her audience. It's almost as if she's out of touch with what people really want to see.
A little bit about television. She thinks that that's good television. She thinks that resonates with people.
Her efforts to connect or elicit sympathy often backfire, as they come across as inauthentic and disconnected from real public sentiment. It's like she's trying to tap into emotions that just don't resonate with the audience.
That to me smacks of how completely devoid of any real understanding you have of people.
The comments are savage, but just wait until you see how people are parodying the show itself. When all is said and done, Meghan Meghan Markle's Netflix lifestyle show is widely viewed as a colossal misfire by critics and a significant portion of the audience. Michael Knowles really captured the sentiment, suggesting that her best financial move was her royal marriage, and even that didn't turn out to be a sustainable content strategy.
Nearest thing Meghan Markle ever had to a billion-dollar idea was marrying a prince. And even that didn't work out.
It really makes you question the state of content creation when, as some commentators highlight, even projects that are seen as talentless or unimpressive can still rake in massive budgets and attention. It's a bizarre time for entertainment, that's for sure.
Truly entered an age in which even the most talentless and unimpressive people are capable of making millions of dollars simply by behaving in the most annoying fashion imaginable.
The show has become such a magnet for mockery that it's inspired a flood of reactions online. So I've rounded up a few hilarious reels of people creating their own parodies of With Love, Meghan. You've got to check these out.
My name is Meghan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy Kaling.
I'm so excited because one of my closest friends is coming over to help me cook today.
I want my home to feel welcoming. Do you feel welcome? Does my soundstage welcome you?
I would do way less salt than that. Let me just do it, Jen.
Mercy.
Whatever.
She and I are such great friends, like besties. Like I love her. Like she doesn't know my name, but we're best friends.
It really makes you question who this show was actually intended for, because it certainly doesn't seem relatable to anyone outside the ultra-wealthy who can connect with that kind of curated perfection. If they care to watch cooking shows, of course.
Who does this appeal to? This could appeal to Oprah Winfrey and basically no one else, least of all in the economy that we're all just coming out of.
Maybe that's been the target audience all along. It really makes you curious about what goes into these multi-million-dollar projects. But what do you all think about Meghan's Netflix adventure and these hilarious parodies? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe while you're there.